And we are live. Welcome back with Murphy Mac to another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast. We help you get started on your fitness journey. What is up, folks? How are y'all doing? Hope y'all are having a great weekend or a great start to your week whenever you listen to this. We got a fun podcast topic for y'all today, or at least I think it's fun. And it's about fitness products that are actually worth it. Like fitness products that actually work. They're actually worth your money. I don't think they're a waste because when it comes to fitness, there's a lot of like gimmicky stuff out there. And it's kind of funny. The reason I thought of this podcast is because of my wife. I know I'm gonna call her out. She's probably gonna be mad at me, but she is very prone to marketing. Marketing gets her every time, and she buys these like gimmicky fitness products, and I don't know. It just made me think about doing this episode. So I wanted to do a podcast about products that are actually worth it, and it's not a waste of money. It's not gimmicky. A lot of the fitness stuff out there is it's not all a lie. Some of it's not a lie, but some of it don't really work that good, or it's not really worth your money, or you could do something else that would benefit you more than what that product is advertising for. You know, fitness is a huge industry. There's a lot of advertisement that goes into fitness and a lot of things that you can sell. And I'm not like trying to dog all these products out because like a lot of them actually do what they say they're going to do. Not all of them. Some of them straight up just don't do what they say they're going to do. But a lot of them actually do what they say they're going to do, but they're just not really worth it. It's not worth your money, your time, things like that. So I just wanted to kind of help y'all, point y'all in the right direction. If you've been thinking about, buying a certain product or thinking about looking into certain things, you don't necessarily need it. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about products that are actually worth your money. We're going to throw in some honorable mentions in there. And then we're also going to throw out some products that are you should avoid, like products that are overrated or not necessarily worth your money. Something that's pretty gimmicky that you don't really need. So that's what we're going to get into in the podcast today. So I think this is going to be a fun one. Doing a solo podcast today. We're going to get into it. So I have a few that are kind of like home gym related products. So some of these may not apply to you because you don't have a home gym or you work out at the gym, and that's okay. But yeah, we're just gonna go through it because a lot of these are worth it. I'll try to put all the home gym ones together, but then a lot of these are going to apply to everybody. So yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into it. So first and foremost, well, let's try to do the ones that can apply to everybody first. And so the first we have a food scale. So I know food scale is not necessarily like a fitness product you would think, but in a way it kind of is because part of fitness is your food. So obviously food scale is going to be very worth it. It's probably the least exciting product on the list, if I'm being honest, but it's one of the most effective and they're very inexpensive. Like you can get some nice expensive food scales, but you don't really need all that. You just need a basic one that can do different measurements. And yeah, they're pretty simple. Like you can get a decent one for like $20 off of Amazon. Like they're not expensive, but they can help you out a lot. If you're trying to meal prep food, if you're trying to, if you're on a strict diet, if you're weighing out your serving sizes, I challenge you, weigh out your food for 1 week. Just weigh it out. It will blow your mind at how small a serving size is, or how much more you're probably eating than you realize. Because when I started tracking my food for my bodybuilding show, I realized just how little bit of food is in a serving size. Like serving sizes, you always see them on the boxes and labels and stuff. You see them, but you don't realize how small they are until you actually measure them out. They're very small. So a lot of people actually eat more than they realize because they're not really weighing out their food. They're just, eyeballing it. And you can get a good sense eyeballing it after a while, like after you've weighed out your food, and you can kind of eyeball it and tell, especially if it's some of the food that you eat a lot, you can really tell. But yeah, I just challenge you, do it for 1 week. Like get a cheap food scale off Amazon or wherever, Walmart, and try weighing out your food. You'll be surprised. It'll really open up your mind a lot about how much you're actually eating. So a food scale obviously is going to help you track your calories more accurately. It's going to help you track your protein intake, which is huge. It's going to help you track portion sizes. A lot of people, do the portion size diet where you track everything about portion size. And most importantly, it's just going to remove guessing. So you no longer have to guess. You're not going to have to guess what you're eating, things like that. You're going to know exactly what you're doing. You can weigh it down to the, decimal if you really want to. A lot of people will eat, they may think that they're only eating 4 ounces of chicken or one serving of peanut butter or one cup of rice. And then you weigh it out and then you realize, yeah, you're like double that on all of them. So just try it. So that's number one, food scale. I really like that one. If your goal is fat loss or muscle gain, a food scale is going to be critical for you. It's going to dramatically help you improve your nutrition accuracy for sure. So number two, I'm going to go down to, all right, so this is for my runners out there. Or really, it could be weightlifting too, but a good quality pair of running shoes if you're running. Now, if you're weightlifting, I would say a good pair of like weightlifting shoes or even barefoot shoes. I'm on the barefoot trend now. I like the barefoot shoes. And I'm not talking about the ones with the toes in it. I know those are kind of weird looking. Not the ones with the toes. They make barefoot shoes now that are just flat, zero drop shoes that are pretty decent looking. They don't have the toes in them. That's not what I'm talking about. But they have a barefoot shoes. Look them up on Amazon or wherever you shop at. But running, for sure, good quality pair of running shoes. This can make a world of a difference. Dude, I'm telling you, when I bought my first pair of running shoes when I was training for Ironman, dude, I didn't realize just how bad my shoes were that I was running with. I was running with some old beat up trainers that I had been wearing for years that were beat up to death. And then I finally bought a nice pair of Brooks running shoes. And when I swear, when I put them things on and I ran for the first time, it literally felt like I was running on clouds. Like no lie, like not exaggerating. It was a big difference. And not only does quality running shoes help you like be more comfortable, but they also help with like the wear and tear on your body, like on your knees and ankles and stuff. You don't realize it, but like if you get sore a lot when you're running, wearing a good pair of shoes can help prevent that. It's going to help take some of that impact off of your ankles and your knees and your hips because you're absorbing, a lot of impact on the ground every day. Like over a day, probably thousands of pounds of, pressure you're absorbing every day. Especially if you walk a lot, if you run a lot, if you're on your feet, working on your feet, get you a good quality pair of shoes. It's going to improve your comfort, give you better support, reduce injury, and then make your workouts more enjoyable. So like if you're hurting or if you're sore during a run, this will help with that for sure. And also weightlifting. Like I love the pair. I have some Nike Metcons, so they're made for weightlifting. They have a flat sole on them. Or you can use the barefoot shoes to work out. It's going to help, with your ankle mobility and things like that. Help you let your feet spread out, like your toes spread out, so you can grip the ground better. And it's better for your feet than wearing like a big sole on your shoe. You don't want to wear one of those big bulky soles you don't want to wear running shoes while you're working out because those soles are going to they're going to squish. They give a lot. And you don't really need that when you work out. You want a sturdy, firm base when you're working out. So you don't necessarily want to wear those big, bulky running shoes when you're working out. I wouldn't do that. I would get two different pairs of shoes. So yeah, a good quality pair of shoes, I would say, is something that's definitely worth your money when it comes to running or working out. So yeah, don't just buy the cheapest ones because they're available. If it's something you really want to do, actually invest in some good, quality ones that you like. And there's a lot of different brands out nowadays, so you can find some that look cool in your opinion. So the next one is a fitness tracker or a smartwatch. Now, I will say up front, you don't need this. This is not a need by no means. This is a nice to have for sure. But you probably already have one of these. So if you already have one of these, that's great. I recommend you use it. A lot of people wear smartwatches nowadays. So if you already have one, great. If you don't, and you're just getting started, don't worry about going out and buying one of these. But when you do decide you want one and you want to start tracking these things, it's definitely worth it. Like I wear an Apple Watch and I track all my workouts, all my runs, and I love it because it can get you measurable results. You always hear what gets measured gets improved or gets managed. You've probably heard that saying before. So if you're not measuring everything, then you don't really know what you're doing. So the watch or the fitness tracker is going to be good for obviously tracking steps, tracking your workouts, tracking your heart rate. They can also monitor your sleep. So I wear mine to sleep actually. And they just track your overall daily activity. They also have a calorie tracker on there, how much you're burning. I don't know how accurate they are, but it will give you a good idea of how much you're burning each day because you can compare them day to day. So they are going to give you some good results, some good feedback and data that you can use to manage, your workouts. You can, how much stress you put in your body that day, how many steps you took that day, what your heart rate was during your workout. So these are going to be all good data points that you can use to help you in your fitness journey. If your heart rate gets up too high, then you can calm it down a little bit, back it down a little bit, or how to track it. If your goal is to hit 10,000 steps a day, if you're hitting that because you have a step tracker. You can check your workouts on there, your sleep. If you're trying to hit a certain number of hours of sleep, you can check how long you sleep. And there's a lot more you can do with it. That's just the basic stuff. There's a lot more. There's all kinds of things that Apple Watch does, but there's all kinds of smartwatches out there nowadays. You don't have to get an Apple Watch. A lot of fitness people or runners use Garmin's, so that's another one. They have Coros. There's Amazfit. There's the Android and Samsung watches. There's all kinds of them out there nowadays, and they are pretty beneficial. But you don't necessarily need it. This is just a nice to have. So if you don't have one, don't necessarily go out and buy one today. But if you already have one, then use it. You might as well use it for your advantage. It helps create awareness around what you're actually doing because you can look into the data and see what it actually says about what you're doing. You may actually discover that you're moving a lot less than you actually thought you were. Like you may think you're getting 10,000 steps a day, and you may not even be close to it, but you'll never know if you're not tracking it. So that's a good thing, good, easy, and inexpensive thing. You can get them pretty cheap too. Like you don't have to get the nicest, fanciest Apple Watch, the Ultra one that's like $800. You can get like the Apple Watch SE that's a little bit cheaper. Or they got different level Garmin's. Like they have a very expensive Garmin, but they also have some cheap Garmin's I think you can get that are pretty inexpensive. So you don't have to get the nicest one. The basic ones do pretty much everything you need them to do. The more expensive ones just do a lot more that you don't necessarily need, especially when you're first starting out. You don't need it. Yeah, so that was the next one, the fitness tracker. The next product, we're going to go to protein powder. There's a lot of supplements. We all know that. And there's only 3 supplements that I recommend. I'm going to go to the next ones next, but right now we're just going to do protein powder. And what I would recommend for protein powder is if you can, a whey protein isolate. So like a whey protein powder. And I say whey just because I just think whey is the best in my opinion. But take that with a grain of salt because some people, whey protein does not sit well in their stomach. Like some people cannot drink whey protein because it upsets their stomach. So if this is you, then you're going to have to experiment with some other types of protein. But if your body will accept whey protein, that's the one to go for. And that's what I would get for 99% of people. Only the people that can't really digest it well, or if it gives them stomach problems or something, then I would, obviously, you're going to have to experiment with some different ones. I wouldn't keep taking it if it's giving you stomach problems. But yeah, I just think whey protein is going to be the best. And if you can, even like a whey protein isolate would be even better. We all know protein is important, especially when it comes to building muscle, when it comes to losing weight. It's probably one of the most important, nutrients or macronutrients that we have. It's going to help build muscle, maintain muscle, recovery, satiety, and protein powder is just an easy way to get more protein in during our day. Because, it's kind of hard to hit your protein goals strictly with whole foods, especially if your protein goal is pretty high. A lot of times we don't either have time to get in all the whole foods, or we don't, it's not convenient to eat a whole, meal or make a whole nother meal. It's very convenient to just shake up a quick protein shake real quick. They're very convenient, and that's why I would recommend them. Especially, I would just take one after each workout. Like I like to have one when I get done working out or when I get done running, just because it helps, replenish those, glycogen stores and stuff that you have that you just burned during your workout. It's just a good, quick, easy way to get in some protein. A lot of times they have carbs in them, get some quick carbs in too, depending on which one you get. So it's just a good, easy thing you can do to help you hit your protein goal throughout the day. And they are very, they don't have a lot of calories in them as well. They're not very calorie dense. Yeah, you can make a protein shake that has a lot of calories in it, or you can make it without all that extra stuff. You can just do the powder, and it's a lot less calories. So it's a good, low calorie, high protein option to help you get, protein into your diet. It's very convenient, very portable, easy to prepare. You can make one before you go to the gym, have it ready after the gym, or you can buy the little pre-made, ready to drink ones. They're just a simple, easy way to get protein in your diet. It is a supplement, and they're meant to supplement your nutrition. They're not meant to replace your nutrition or your whole foods. I still want you eating whole foods, nice, good, healthy foods that have all the nutrients, but the protein powder helps you supplement your diet. It's not replacing anything, so remember that. Especially if you're struggling to hit your protein goal, that protein powder can help make your life that much easier. Just a convenient way to get it in. So that was the next one. All right, and that moves us on to... this one is a weightlifting belt. So I think a weightlifting belt is it's not needed for like very beginners. You don't necessarily need this one for beginners. But once you get up there, you're starting to get stronger. You're starting to get more advanced. You're putting a lot more weight on the bar. I do think it's beneficial to have a weightlifting belt. For beginners, you don't really need this. That's not necessarily because you're probably not doing a lot of weight. But a weightlifting belt, if you don't know what it is, it's just like a thick leather belt that goes around like almost like your abdomen, like your ab area. It's a little bit above like your waist, and it helps you with bracing. So like when you do a squat or a deadlift or something, you really brace your core a lot. Like you squeeze your core, you try to stabilize it. And bracing, the more weight you do, the more important it becomes. So this weightlifting belt, I'll be honest, I don't really know exactly how it works, but it helps increase your stability. It helps that abdominal pressure that you get. It kind of helps um, I don't know, prevent it or relieve it. I'm not really sure the exact terms of it, but and then it also just helps you be more confident when you're under heavy loads. It's weird how it works. Like I can't really describe it. You just have to try it. But when you put it on real tight around your abs, it really does help you, like help support you. I like it because it helps support like my lower back when I'm doing a big heavy squat or a deadlift or something. I like to wear them because it increases that like pressure around my abs, and I don't really know how it works, I'll be honest, but it does. So it can be beneficial. If you're not doing a lot of weight up front, I don't think it's necessarily you need it. But when you do get up there to that level, I do think it's worth your money to buy a weightlifting belt. So what I recommend is when you're a beginner, focus on your technique first. And then as you start getting into it, learning more, adding some weight, then you can look into getting one of these belts later on. So once you're lifting those heavier weights, that quality, a nice belt will help be a useful tool for you to use in the future. So don't worry about that one just yet. But when you do decide to get one, I do think it's worth it. The next one is a recovery item. So this is a foam roller. Actually, I'm gonna loop in like all recovery items here. So foam roller, the little massage guns. I'm gonna loop that one in here too. Or a lot of people have those little. A lot of people actually use like a lacrosse ball. They'll use that to roll out like the bottom, the bottom of their feet and stuff. So any kind of like recovery roller type deal, massager, I would put it in here because recovery matters. It's going to help, relieve tight muscles. It's going to help improve your mobility. It can reduce discomfort that you have from like hard training. You can use them before and after your workouts to help recovery. And also, I like to use them before sometimes to help me loosen up a little bit to get ready for the lift, and then also afterwards for recovery. They're very inexpensive. They're very durable. Once you buy one, you're probably never have to buy one again. They're easy to use. You've probably seen a foam roller before. You've definitely seen the little massage guns before. I have both, and whenever my muscles get tight, I will use it. I like the massage gun because you can pinpoint certain areas, and it's just a little bit easier to use than a foam roller. But yeah, foam roller is super cheap. The massage guns are a little bit more expensive, but yeah, I definitely think they're worth it. They're not a miracle tool. Like they're not gonna make your soreness go away. They're not just gonna be like, it's not gonna do a miracle, but it will help. It will help speed up the process of recovery, help you feel a little bit better, loosen up that muscle, help you move a little bit better. So it is a nice to have. So recovery tools, foam roller, massage gun. That's definitely worth your money in my opinion. The next product, going back to the kitchen, and that's meal prep containers. I guess I should have put this one beside the food scale, but a nice set of meal prep containers. And I'm gonna take it one step further, and I'm gonna say get the glass containers. Get the glass ones. One, they're nice quality. They're gonna last you a long time. But two, I've probably heard a lot recently about like microplastics and stuff. And I'm not trying to like freak y'all out or scare y'all or anything because I definitely still use plastic a lot, but I try to use the least amount of plastic as I can, especially in my food. So if you don't know what microplastics are, I'm not going to give you the whole spiel. Look it up on Google. But essentially, when you use plastic and you're heating it up in the microwave and stuff, you're getting little tiny, very tiny little plastic particles in your food, and you digest it, and then they get in your body. Like most people, there's probably like a 99% chance that you have plastics in your body right now, just because we use plastic with everything. So you just want to decrease the amount of plastic you're using as much as you can. So I would say get the glass ones. We still have a few glass ones, but we've thrown out like the majority of our plastic ones. So now we're just trying to use glass, and that's just one less place I'm using glass. I mean, I'm using plastic in my life, so I'm trying to cut back on it as much as I can, but you're never going to get away from all plastic. So like, don't freak out about it. Um, but yeah, if you have to, the glass ones are more expensive. I will say, if you have to get plastic ones, that's cool. But maybe eventually try to get some glass ones one day. I use plastic ones forever. Like I just started using the glass ones like a few months ago. But yeah, meal prep containers are huge. It makes prepping your food easy because you have plenty of them that you can use. It helps, you know, helps you make your healthy eating decisions easier, makes it more convenient because all you gotta do once you have the food in there, you just pop it in the microwave and eat it. It's gonna help you save time. It's gonna help decision fatigue. You're gonna have to think about what you're eating because you already know it's already in the container. It's gonna help you maintain consistency. Meal prepping is huge for me. I do this every week. I live and die. I swear by meal prepping. It's the one thing that helps me stay consistent with what I'm eating throughout the week. So yeah, get you a nice set of meal prep containers. And it's not that most people don't fail because they don't know what to eat. They fail because they don't have healthy food prepared when they're hungry. Because when you get hungry, you're like, oh crap, now I want to eat something. So what do? You find the first most convenient thing to eat, and normally that's fast food or something. So if you already have food prepared in the fridge, and all you gotta do is pop it in the microwave, and in 2 minutes it's ready. That's convenient. That's easy, and then it makes hitting your goals that much easier. So meal prep containers help turn good intentions into consistent actions. So remember that. Get you a good set of meal prep containers. And then the next product, going back to the supplements, and that is creatine monohydrate. There's you will see some other kinds of creatine out there. Don't get those. Get creatine monohydrate. That's the only one you need. It's like pure creatine. You don't need one that has all the extra fluff in it. That's just marketing gimmick stuff. Get creatine monohydrate. That's what you need. It's one of the most researched supplements in the world. It can improve strength. It can improve performance. Helps you build muscle, your muscle building potential. It helps you hydrate your muscles. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert. I don't know exactly how these things work, but it does work. It's it is the most studied supplement there is. So it does work for sure. So creatine is something I recommend everybody take, not just people trying to build muscle, not just people trying to lose weight, not just young people. I recommend everybody, no matter what age you are, no matter if you're male or female, no matter what your goal is. Creatine's going to be good, but there's also some studies out there that show that creatine is actually good for your cognitive health, like for your brain health. So not only is it good for muscle health, but it's also good for your brain health as well. So yeah, I would take it. The recommended dose is like 5 grams a day, but now some people are actually experimenting with taking more, like up to 20 grams a day. So definitely recommend creatine for everybody. It's definitely a good one. I've been taking it for years, so that's another supplement. And while we're on the terms on supplements, I'll go ahead and tell y'all I told y'all earlier there's 3 that I take. I will tell y'all the other one that I take, and that's pre-workout. Do you need pre-workout? No, you don't. Is pre-workout nice to have? Yes, it's very nice. If you've never taken pre-workout, then honestly, I would recommend don't take it. Like, don't start taking it if you've never taken it, unless you absolutely need it, because it's one of those things that once you start taking it, it's hard to stop. Like I hate to say it, but you kind of get addicted to it. Like it's great. I'll be honest. Like I swear it's like a drug almost. Like you take it, you feel great. You're caffeinated because it's got a lot of caffeine in it. You're motivated. To me, what I like the most is it gives me sharp focus. Like I don't know what they put in that junk, but the focus is unreal. Like you're not distracted when you take it and you're at the gym and it will lock you in and you will be focused on your workout. Like you will be grinding it out. It helps you work harder, helps you stay focused, gives you caffeine, and it works. It does. It's a great supplement, but it can be dangerous if you take too much of it. Don't take more than 1 scoop. There's a reason there's a serving size. Don't take more than 1. I know a lot of people do take 2 scoops, and I've taken 2 before, but I do not recommend it. It's just too much caffeine at once. But even if you're like a caffeine junkie, like I drink a lot of caffeine, and 1 scoop still does pretty good for me. And then you will build up a tolerance for it. So 1 scoop won't affect you the same after a while, and you will have to start taking more. But when that happens, I recommend you need to do like a deload. Like you need to wean yourself off of it a little bit and then go back to it. So it's because it will lose its potency because your body will get used to it. So you will want to take more. But I highly recommend don't do that. Don't fall into the trap of that, because then you're going to keep taking more and more and more and more, and then before you know it, you're taking 3 scoops, and that's not good. That could lead to potential health problems. Your heart may beat out of your chest, and that's not good. So if you get to the point to where it's not as effective anymore, then I would do like a tolerance break. Like try to get off of it for a while, wean yourself off of it, and then when you go back to using it, it will be strong again. And I've done this several times and it does work, I promise. Like if you stop taking it for a while and then you come back and start taking it again, it will go back to like its original strength that it was like the first time you took it. So it does work. It does work. If you don't need it, I wouldn't use it, because you can get dependent on it. Like to me now, I don't like to work out unless I have pre-workout. And that's just me being honest with y'all. I use it every time I work out. And I've gotten to ruts where I will actually I build up a tolerance and I'd take 2 scoops of it. And then I realized like this is not good. So I will actually, decrease my usage of it. Especially right now, I'm doing a lot of running. So like I don't take pre-workout when I run. Because it makes my heart beat too fast, and I don't like that. So I don't take any while I run. So it's good when I do these preps, because I actually use a lot less pre-workout when I'm doing these preps, because I'm not weight training as much. I only use it when I weight train. I don't do it when I'm running, because when I run, my heart rate gets up real high anyways from running. So then if you take that pre-workout on top of it, my heart rate would get really, really high, like way too high, and I don't like it. So if you have anxiety real bad, like if caffeine gives you anxiety, like if you don't do well with caffeine, do not take pre-workout. Do not do it. It is pretty bad, because it's a lot of pre-workout. I mean, it's a lot of caffeine all at once. So if you don't do well with caffeine, don't take pre-workout. If you have anxiety, it can give you some anxiety too, for some people if you're not used to it. So just be cautious with it. I recommend start with half a scoop. Don't go straight to a full scoop. Start with half a scoop and then go from there, because it can be a little dangerous for some people. Some people don't do well with pre-workout, so that's something you have to figure out for yourself. Just be cautious. Don't overdo it. Start with half a scoop. So that was my third supplement. That's the only 3 I take. Protein, more specifically whey protein, pre-workout, and creatine. That's all I take. So yeah, that leads us to the next product. And the next product is a good pair of headphones. A good pair of headphones. There's so many different kinds. If you're an over the ear kind of person like these I got on, if you're watching, you can wear those. I don't like wearing this style in the gym. Like I don't like wearing the big bulky headphones in the gym. That's just not my thing, but a lot of people do. I know they sound good, like the big bulky ones sound the best, but I just don't like them in the gym. I actually wear AirPods Pro, like the original AirPods Pro. I've had them for like 6 or 7 years. I've had them for a long time and they still work, and I love them. A nice, good quality pair of headphones I recommend getting, because you're going to use them a lot. Like you're going to be using a lot of y'all every day. So I recommend getting a good pair. I have an iPhone, so I just got the AirPods because they connect super easy and they work well, and they have the little charger case. So as long as you put them back in the charging case, they pretty much stay charged all the time. You don't have to worry about charging them. And I just leave mine in my truck, so when you get to the gym, they're already in there, and you just pop them in, they connect automatically, and they're good to go. So I definitely recommend some good headphones, because most people, if you're a normal person, you listen to music or a podcast or something, audio book while you're working out. I like to, I listen to a lot of podcasts and a lot of music when I'm working out. So, yeah, most people do. That's just kind of the common thing to do. So get you a nice pair of headphones. If you have an iPhone, you can't go wrong with the AirPods. You also, if you don't have an iPhone, you can't go wrong with like Beats or Bose, or what else is out there? JBL is good. Y'all know all the headphone brands. Can't really go wrong with any of them. Get you a nice set, and I recommend wireless. Don't get no wired ones, because the wires is going to get in the way when you're working out. Get you some wireless headphones. So yeah, they'll help you out. Help get you in the mood while you're in the gym. Help get you a little vibe going. So wireless headphones. Next is going to bring us to a gym bag, especially if you're going to the gym. Get you a nice gym bag. And the reason I say get a gym bag is because I want you going to the gym either before work, or I want you going directly after work. And the reason I say this is because when you go home in between, it creates opportunity for you to not go. Well, not if you're going in the afternoon. Like if you're going to work first, take a gym bag with you to work. Pack your workout clothes in the gym bag. Take it with you to work, and instead of going home after work, go straight to the gym. Now, I know obviously this don't work for everybody. Some people got to go home if you got kids, or if you got a spouse at home or whatever. Some people have to go home. But if you can, avoid that at all costs. Go straight to the gym. Take your workout clothes with you to the gym. With you to work in your gym bag. So that way, when you get to the gym, you can take your bag in with you, change in the locker room, and then you can get to your workout. And then when you get done, then you can go home. Because this just creates less opportunity for you to quit on your workout. Because you never know what's going to happen when you go home. The kids may want to play with you. Some chores come up. You get home and then you change your mind, like you're not in the mood no more. So I recommend taking a gym bag with you. And then if you work out before work, I recommend obviously taking a gym bag too, because most gyms have showers. I recommend work out at the gym, take your work clothes with you to the gym in your gym bag, and then take a shower at the gym, change at the gym, and go straight to work. This way you don't have to waste extra time going back home, or you don't have to wake up even earlier, so you have time to go home. Now, if you live next door to the gym, that's one thing. But most people don't live next door to a gym. Take your clothes with you. So a nice gym bag. You don't even have to get a nice one. Just get a gym bag, a normal cheap one. Like buy a $20, $30 gym bag off Amazon. That's all you need. It helps you keep things organized, and it helps remove excuses. That's the main thing. Get you a gym bag. So that's going to lead us to, let's go to some lifting straps. I like these lifting straps. I used to use these a lot more, but I quit using them so I could work on my grip strength. But once you get up there and you start lifting some heavy weights, eventually your grip is going to give out. You're going to be able to lift more weights than your grip can hold. So some lifting straps are great. And there's all kinds of different lifting straps nowadays. The OG ones are like the ones that wrap around your wrist, and they're real long. It's like a real long piece of fabric, and you wrap it around the bar. That's like the original ones. Now they have different kinds. Now they have some that are like, it's almost like a pad that goes on your hand that you can wrap around the bar. There's different kinds. It don't matter what kind you get, but they help you get more grip on the bar. Like they go around your wrist, and you wrap whatever it is around the bar, and it allows you to lift more weight, to hold more weight in your hands. So it's going to be good for any kind of back work. It's going to be good for deadlifts. It's going to be good even for pull-ups. Anything that has to do with your grip, they're good for. So it can help you do more weight. So a good set of lifting straps definitely will help you in the gym. When your grip strength becomes the limiting factor, the lifting straps will come into play. So they definitely do help. I definitely recommend getting you a good set of these, and they're not that expensive. You can get them pretty inexpensive too. Lifting straps is definitely a good one. Back to the runners. Another thing that's worth it is a running vest or some kind of like running belt that holds water. So I use these a lot. I have a belt that holds little small water bottles. I also have a vest that I use in my Ultra that holds bigger water bottles. So if you're a runner, this one's going to be great for, long runs, trail runs, your marathon training, ultra marathon training. And essentially what it is a vest or a belt that will hold water bottles. It has pockets on it that you can put gels in. It will hold your cell phone. It will hold your car keys. It will hold things. Keeps it out of your pocket, because when you run with things in your pockets kind of swing back and forth. So this just helps it not swing back and forth. It helps you hold water. So that way you don't have to hold it in your hand. So if you have a long run, you can use these vest or belt to carry water with you, so that you don't have to stop running and you're not super thirsty. You can get some water while you're running and keep going. I definitely recommend this one for my runners out there. If you're weightlifting, you don't really need this because you can just go to the water fountain. So all my runners are hikers out there. Get you a nice running vest or running belt. I use both depending on how long it is. For my really long runs, I'll use the vest. For medium length runs, I'll use the little weight belt the little waist belt that I like. So that's a few of the products. Now I told y'all I had some products that are kind of home gym related. So like, if you're working out at the gym, you don't necessarily need these, but honestly, they're still nice to have, even if you do work out at the gym, because like a day that you miss the gym or something, it'd be nice to have these at home. So first and foremost, a set of adjustable dumbbells. An adjustable dumbbell. These are great because they're very small, they're very light. Not light, they're different weights, but they're very compact. And they can be used to get a full workout in at home. Like if you don't have a full workout space, if you don't have a space to have a full workout, if you can get a good set of adjustable dumbbells, you can do literally a whole workout with them, and they take up barely any space. They're very versatile. They're very convenient. And they're adjustable, so you can do different weights. So you can there's different kinds out there. Some are from like 5 to 50 pounds. They even have some that are more than that. You can get like 5 to like 70 pounds, 80 pounds. I think some of them even go up to 100 pounds nowadays. But the higher you go in weight, the more expensive they are going to be, obviously. So you can get these will be a little pricey, but you can do a lot with them. And they're very versatile. They help you save space. They help you save money. Help you save time. Like if you can't make it to the gym one day, or if you miss the gym, or whatever, something comes up. If you have a set of dumbbells at the house, you can get like a full body workout with them, honestly. And it's different than having like a set of dumbbells. Like me, I have a set of dumbbells in my garage, set of 5 through 50, and they literally take up a ton of space, like literally a huge space. So a set of like adjustable dumbbells, can save you a ton of space. They're a lot cheaper than buying a full set of dumbbells, and you can do a lot with them. They're very versatile. So definitely, first set of like gym equipment I would recommend dumbbells. If I had to pick one, adjustable dumbbells more specifically, that's what I would definitely recommend. Get you a pair. Next, I would recommend another inexpensive, very good piece of equipment is resistance bands. So resistance bands are very cheap, they're very portable, and they're extremely versatile. Like you can use them to do so much. Again, you can do a full body workout with resistance bands. What I like to use them for is warm ups. I use them for warming up my body, getting my shoulders loose, especially if I'm doing like any shoulders that day. I like to use them for warm ups. I like to use them for mobility work. You can use them for assisted pull-ups. You can use them for any kind of home workout. And then another plus is you can use them for travel workouts. So if you're traveling, take one and throw it in your bag. They're super light, super small. You can fit them in your bag wherever you go. And they're just a good, easy piece of equipment you can buy, and they're inexpensive. And you can do a lot with them. You can use them for all kinds of things. It's kind of... Yeah, this one, actually, I may even say get some resistance bands first before we get some adjustable dumbbells, because you can just do so much with these. It's not going to be the same as getting like an actual workout in, but when you're in a pinch, you don't have time, you don't have the money, or if you're traveling or whatever, it's better than nothing. You know, it works. It's definitely worth your money because they're not that expensive. You get some cheap ones. So I would say they're definitely worth your money, and you can do a lot of things with them. They're good for stretching and warming up. I really recommend them for that. But if you have to, you can do a workout with them as well if you really need to. There's very few products out there that will provide as much value for as low of a cost as resistance bands. So I definitely recommend. And you can get like you can get a set of them nowadays that have different resistances for very inexpensive, for like 20, $30 on Amazon. You can get like 5 or 6 different ones with different resistances. So I definitely recommend getting those if you want some workout equipment for the house or to travel with or whatever. The next one is a good pull-up bar. So again, this is going to be like a home gym style piece of equipment, but a good pull-up bar. They're simple, they're affordable, they're effective. Like you can't go wrong with pull-ups, with chin-ups. You can do hanging leg raises for your abs. It's good for your grip strength. You can do, just dead hangs with them. A good pull-up bar goes a long way. You'll be surprised at how strong you can get just by doing pull-ups, just by doing leg raises, just by doing dead hangs. You can do a lot of good body weight exercises with a pull-up bar. Pull-ups are probably one of the best upper body exercises you can do. It's definitely questionable. It may be the number one pull-up. Upper body workout you can do because it's just so versatile. It's one of the main movements you'll do as a human. So it can provide years of value for a relatively small investment. You can literally put a pull-up bar on them is almost anything that can hold weight. You can put it across, the studs in your house. You can a lot of pull-up bars have actually have like a rack. You can put it on the ground. You can literally make it from like a tree branch or something. You can hang something from a tree branch, put posts up outside. There's so many different ways you can do it. But yeah, I would recommend getting a good pull-up bar. You can do a lot with it, and it can go a long ways. That was definitely a piece of pretty inexpensive, depending on which one you get. Piece of equipment I would recommend getting. So the next one, let's see what else we got here. All right. So last piece of gym equipment, we'll go adjustable bench. So a good adjustable bench goes a long way, especially if you already have the adjustable dumbbells. If you have those, get you an adjustable bench and you can do so much more. You can do bench press, incline, any kind of like rows you can lay on it. like belly first. You can lay down on it. So a good adjustable bench also will go a long ways. And you can also use the resistance bands on the bench as well. There's different ways you can rig it up to, like, you can do flies with it, do shoulders with it, do lat raises and things like that. You can do a lot. So that would be like the last piece of equipment I would say get is a bench. The good thing about a bench though is you don't necessarily have to have like a weight bench. You could use other benches. Like if you have a bench at your house, you can still use it to work out, like a regular bench you sit on. You could even make up benches. Like if you had some like stools or something, you could lay down on them. There's different ways you can make, makeshift benches, but you can get, pretty nice benches nowadays that are not too expensive. So I would recommend getting you a good bench to work out on if you're going to work out the house. So those are probably the fitness products I would recommend that are actually worth your money, that you can get some use out of. It's not very gimmicky, that are actually worth it, and you can actually use it and see some pretty good results on it for a while. Now, there's definitely more that I would recommend, but we're just keeping it basic today. Not trying to get too into the weeds, but those are the things I would definitely recommend you get when you're first starting out, especially if you're working out at home or in a garage gym or something. Those are going to be good for you for sure. Now, let's get into some products that are overrated, that are definitely not worth your money, not worth your time, may not even work at all. The first one, a waist trainer. I don't understand these. Like what? They don't work. They don't burn fat. You can't spot reduce body fat. I don't care what you say. You can't do it. They're not going to reshape your body. They're not going to help you burn weight or burn fat. They may make you sweat more just because there's more material on your body and it's hot. So they may make you sweat more, maybe, but it's not going to make you lose weight around your waist. It's not. So it's just, these are just not true. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's some evidence out there that can support these, but I don't see it. And if there is any evidence out there, it's not enough evidence that it's worth your money. It's definitely not worth your money. You could wrap other stuff around your weight. Like it's not worth it, in my opinion. Like don't buy a waist trainer. Waste of money. Another along the same lines is a sweat belt. And this is one of the things my wife bought. She bought one of these things to go around her waist. It's supposed to help her sweat. I'm like, that's just total waste of money. Like, don't buy this. It don't help you lose weight in certain areas. And sweat is not necessarily fat loss. Like just because you're sweating don't mean you're losing fat, especially in that area. You're just sweating in that certain area. Like it's not helping you lose weight. Like it's not. It's kind of the same thing as a waist trainer. Like they're just not worth your money. Don't waste your time on it. Don't waste your money. Another thing is like certain detox teas. I don't necessarily think detox teas are really worth your body. Your body has natural ways of detoxing. So I don't really think these like teas and things are really worth your money because you have a detox system in your body, your liver, your kidneys, your digestive system, sweating. Like your body naturally detoxes itself. So I don't think you need to take like a detox product. I don't really think it's going to help that much. And if it does, it's probably not worth your money. If it does actually help, you could have just did it naturally. You know what I'm saying? The next one, fat burners. Fat burners provide minimal benefits. They may actually work, but very, very minimal. It's not going to be worth your money. And so just don't waste your time. A lot of fat burners just contain some caffeine in them. It helps get your heart rate up, so it makes you think you're losing weight. It helps you think you're doing what it's actually doing, but I don't know. Maybe if you're going for like a bodybuilding show or something, then they may be worth it to help you get that little tiny bit of extra benefit out of it. But for 99% of people, they're not going to be worth it. So I just wouldn't waste your time with it. You're not going to see a big difference from it. So it's not worth your money, in my opinion. The next one is abs stimulators. So any of those things you see that like hook onto your abs that vibrate and things like that, like they're not worth your money. They don't actually work. I don't really know what the science is behind those, but I've never seen somebody use those and actually see results from them. So save your money. I don't think you're going to get abs from vibrating them. I think you're going to get abs from being in a calorie deficit and getting your body fat down to where you can actually see your abs, and also working out your abs, building your abs in the gym, doing ab exercises to build the muscles in your abs. That's how you're going to see your abs, not by vibrating them with some machine. So don't buy those. I don't think it's worth it. A vibration platform. I feel like you used to see these back in the day. I don't really know what they do, but they don't work. I don't really know what the marketing is behind them, but the results are not going to be worth your money if you bought one of these things. I don't really know If it worked, like you would see a lot more people doing it, but obviously they don't. So I think this is kind of old news, anyways. Like I don't really think people use vibration platforms anymore. But every now and then I'll see one pop up. I'll see one, and I don't know. Some people swear by them, but I just don't think it's worth it, in my opinion. And a lot of times people buy these and they'll never use them. Like you buy it thinking you're going to use it and you never use it. So it's a waste of money. If you don't use any of these products, they're definitely a waste of your money if you're not using them. So yeah, don't buy something you're not going to use. Also, any kind of like expensive recovery gadget. I know I kind of mentioned like the foam rollers and the massage guns, but those are pretty inexpensive. They're pretty cheap and they do help a little bit. I did mention they're not miracle tools. They're not gonna make a huge difference. But if there's any other like expensive recovery gadget, it's probably not gonna help. You probably would benefit more if you got better sleep, if you had better nutrition, if you had better hydration. Like those three things would help you way more than like any other kind of like random weird recovery gadget out there. There's a lot of like different things they sell. So yeah, those are definitely recommended. Also, most supplements, not all of them. I mentioned the three I take. There's definitely some out there that are beneficial for certain people, but most supplements are probably overrated. Like a lot of times they overpromise and they underdeliver on what they say they're going to do. For 99% of people, you just need protein powder, creatine, and if you want some kind of caffeine or pre-workout. That's going to be all you need for most people. Those are going to provide most of the benefits that people seek. I will say, if you are nutrient deficient in any nutrient, I will say you could supplement with that nutrients, like with that vitamin. I wouldn't just take a bunch of random vitamins, because if you're not nutrient deficient in those vitamins, then you don't really need a supplement for them. But if you do have a nutrient deficiency, then yeah, obviously supplement with that one specific one. I will say a multivitamin is good to take it's just good for everybody. So I meant to add that to the list. A good multivitamin, I would say, is actually worth your money, because it just helps in a few of those areas. It's very hard to eat a very balanced diet to where you're getting all the nutrients in. So that's where a good multivitamin could come into play, and it could be beneficial. So I would throw that in on the products that are actually worth your money. But most other products are not worth your money. Like, I just don't think they are. Like, some people swear by like EAAs. Some people say they're very beneficial. I've never really seen any, a lot of benefits from it. So if you think they are, then they may be worth your money, but for most people, it's probably not going to be worth your money. I'm not saying they don't work. They definitely do work, but it's probably not going to be worth your money though. You're not going to see a huge benefit from them. And that's just my opinion. There's a lot of other supplements out there that you see that are probably just not worth it. I mean, nowadays you got all the like peptides and stuff coming out, and I've never taken any of these, so I can't really speak to them. But from what I've heard, the peptides are actually like pretty good. They actually are kind of worth the money. But I'm not gonna recommend any of those, because I don't know enough about them. I'm gonna let you do your own research on those, because I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction. So yeah, that's my list of products that you should take or that are actually worth your money, that I would recommend. And these are all things that I actually use in my fitness journey. So yeah, I think they're worth it. Most of them are pretty inexpensive. Some of them are expensive. I will say protein powder and pre-workout, and that it can get kind of expensive after a while. If you're buying a lot of gym equipment, it can get expensive. A gym membership can get expensive. But for the most part, these things are not expensive, but they are investing in your health. So it's okay to spend money on your health, because it's going to have a bigger return in the future. Even though you spend a little money up front now, it will have a good return. So I think it's good to spend money on your health. I really do. Like, you don't have to go overboard and buy the most expensive thing, but invest in your health a little bit. That's okay. Like, if you go to the doctor, you're going to pay a lot of money at the doctor, right? That's investing in your health. You don't think twice about paying to go to the doctor, but you may think twice about buying the organic food from the grocery store instead of buying, just the regular one. You think twice about that, but you don't think twice about going to the doctor, And if you start, eating healthier, doing things right, you may not need to go to the doctor as much. So you may save money by buying the healthier thing up front and not having to go to the doctor later. So if you think about it that way, you may actually be saving money. So yeah, that's my list of things that are actually worth your money when it comes to fitness. Stay away from all the gimmicky stuff. If something seems too good to be true, especially in fitness, it's probably too good to be true. I'm just being honest. Like, take what you hear with a grain of salt. These These companies are very good at marketing. A lot of them have good marketing budgets. They can throw a lot of money at marketing. They can make it sound good. They can promise these results. And I will say, I believe in the placebo effect. I really do, especially when it comes to fitness. I think a lot of fitness products, a lot of these supplements that people swear by, I think a lot of it is placebo. I really do. And that's okay. Honestly, I'm not mad at the placebo effect. I'm really not. If it works for you, then great. Like, do it. I recommend it. Unless it's harming you, obviously. But like, if you take a certain supplement and you swear it works up and down, then by all means, take it. If it's not hurting you, take it. Like, I think that's like, but a lot of these I really think is like placebo. But I mean, that's okay. A lot of people believe in certain supplements that they take, and I just think that since they do believe in it, it works. Like it's one of those things, like you put your mind to it, you believe in it, you say it works, then it works. And if you don't think it works, if you think it's just, if you don't do anything, then it's probably not going to do anything. And that's what I've experienced a lot in a lot of these supplements. Because I've tried different supplements before, and I've never really seen any results out of any of them except for, the protein and the pre-workout and the creatine. So, yeah, that's just my take. You don't have to agree with it. I just think there's a lot of placebo things in the fitness industry. You see a lot of these supplements popping up nowadays that I think a lot of them are placebo. So yeah, you just kind of have to figure it out for yourself. If you take something and you swear it works, then keep taking it. There ain't nothing wrong with that if it's not harming you. So do it. But just be careful because a lot of it is, marketing. It may not work the way it says it works. So yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. Y'all be sure to tune in next week. Oh, let me do a little shameless plug real quick. Please, if you hadn't yet, leave a comment, leave a review, subscribe, wherever you listen at. We're on all podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. I really would appreciate it if you leave a like or comment. It helps push the podcast out so more people can hear it. If you subscribe or share it with somebody, send this to a friend, somebody that, is on their fitness journey or looking to get started on the fitness journey. I'd appreciate it. It goes a long way. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I love getting to get on here and just talk about fitness because that's what I do. That's my passion. So I can sit here and talk all night long, but I know y'all got to go places. So I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all have a great day. Tune in next week for another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast. Peace, love, protein. We out.